Welcome back to the Wild Blue Wanderers channel, and this week I'm going to do something a little bit different. As you may be able to see, and I'll show you, I am driving in Northern California in the middle of nowhere, and I just dropped off Scott and his friend Bob in Fernley, Nevada, because they are going on a guy's motorcycle trip, and unfortunately where we are staying in the motorhome is at Bob and Brandy's house, and there is some sunglasses. There was some major weather coming in. As you can see, the weather is a little bit what's the word I'm looking for? Bipolar. So I have sunshine blaring in my face, but there's snow ahead. So that's fun. I had to take Scott and Bob down to Nevada to get out of the snow because it's not very safe to ride motorcycles, nor is it very comfortable to ride motorcycles in 30-degree weather while it's snowing. So we didn't want them to put themselves in danger, but we still wanted them to have a good time. So they're going to be gone for a week. They're going to the Phoenix, I think it's called Arizona Bike Week, down in Scottsdale, Arizona, which is a suburb of Phoenix. I hope they have an amazing time, and I'm going to hold down the fort. I'm mooch docking in Bob and Brandy's driveway, but they have a fenced property, so I'm able to let the dogs out of the motorhome and they can just run, and they have goats, and so of course Willie wants to herd the goats. And so it's going to be a good week, and hopefully Scott will show you some of his motorcycle time, but I'm going to share with you what I'm doing while he's gone. Just about an hour outside of Klamath Falls, and this is what it looks like. Oh well, almost home. It's dark and snowy outside, so I thought I'd let the dogs come in and get some of their beans out. It was a long travel day for them, hanging out in the pickup. It's a good thing the boys left when they did, because this is the next day. I have a feeling I'm going to be spending a lot of my time supervising my dogs doing this. We're making snow angels. Good boy. I'm so excited, it's time for a massage. One of the things I'm doing while Scott's gone is some chores and taking Laurel to the vet. It's actually her first vet appointment. I gave all the rest of the shots since I've been a veterinary technician for, 25 years. Anyway, she's going to see Dr. Holman today, who is my old employer. So looking forward to see how she does. Laurel, what are you doing? What are you doing? Hi, are you excited? Are you excited to go to the doctor? Let's see. You ready? Okay. Good girl.
So I was watching TV and I noticed it got a little cold in here. Well, we ran out of propane, but luckily Scott put that little propane deal on that we could use bottles. And so the propane bottle that we had put on earlier ran out. And so I put my coat on, and it is probably about 12:30 a.m. and I was able to get the propane switched just fine. Of course, I didn't record it because it was cold outside and I'm tired and I'm ready to go to bed. But at least I got propane and the heat just came on. So, by the way, it's going to be 26 degrees tonight, I think. So, it's probably good that I have propane. Well, you'll have to excuse how I look. I'm just getting ready for bed. But the propane thing tonight reminds me of 2 nights ago when Scott first left. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and it was freezing in here. The bedroom said it was 52 degrees and this furnace out here in the living room said 48. So I tapped on it to see like what's going on and it was turned off. Well, I don't know if I pushed the button wrong or if the system just turned itself off, but it was cold. So luckily I was able to get it turned back on and started and warmed up, and then I let Laurel on the bed and she snuggled with me, so it was fine. But it's one of those things that I take for granted because Scott usually controls the furnace, but luckily I knew how it worked, so that's a good thing. And then tonight I knew what I needed to do to change out the propane tank. So tomorrow I will take the empty tank into the fuel station and get it filled so that I have an extra one ready for when this one runs out, because it's only a 5 gallon. Anyway, this standard bottle. And so it will, 20-pound tank, I think it is 5 gallon, something like that. Anyway, oh, furnace just kicked off. It's nice and warm in here. But it's one of those things you want to know how these things work. So if your husband or partner or whatever you want to call them leaves, you know how to run some stuff and you're not going to freeze. So just another thought. It is a beautiful day here in Klamath Falls, Oregon, and the dogs are out here playing. Good boy, Cooper. I'm going to go meet some friends for happy hour. And I had some errands that I needed to do today. Got the propane filled and, well, just a little bottle. And discovered where it's going to be easy to fill the motorhome when we go to leave. Then I went shopping. Got some new sunglasses. They look the same as the ones I usually get. I get them at Ross Dress for Less for like $12. So they're disposable. And I got a couple pairs of jeans. You know, anytime I throw things out of the motorhome, I kind of keep track of it so I know what I can replace. I think Scott and Bob are having a great time in Arizona when I've talked to them. I think just having a guy's trip is important. And I'm going to be honest, I don't hate a little bit of a break. I mean, it's been 6 months that pretty much Scott and I have been the whole time with each other. And I love him and we get along really good. But there's a reason we get along really good. And sometimes we just need our little breaks. Not everybody's like that, but you know, I think part of it was that Scott and we met later in life. So I think we got together when we were in our late 30s and we'd already been kind of set in our ways. And so, yeah, we've been together for a while and it's been great. But I think making sure that we take time for ourselves or guys trips or girls trips or whatever is important. That, at least in our relationship, that's how it works. So it's been really good. And Cooper is out here enjoying the sunshine. He's been slowing down a lot. He's having a pretty rough time getting around. He stumbles and falls sometimes, and I think his hearing is going. Actually, when I talked to the vet, we think that there may be something neurologically in his brain. So he's been on bonus time for the last 6 months. So we'll see how long he's enjoying life. And then we'll see how long he can keep up with these two. Little rambunctious hellions who like to get into things. Well, that was really fun. I spent the evening with my past coworkers and who are friends, and that was just a really nice way to kind of wrap up the week. It's been a good week. I dropped Scott and Bob off in Fernley on Monday, and it is now Thursday, so I'm going to get this video ready to release on Saturday. It's going to be a little bit different. We're not going to have the intro, and some of the editing is going to be a lot different because Scott's the one who does the editing. But I figured I'd give you guys a glimpse into what I'm doing when Scott goes away. It's not that big of a deal, but it is nice to know how things work. I did have to call him, or actually I did have to call him and ask him how the TV remote control worked. So, if you're alone or without your significant other in your camper, it's a good idea to know how some of those everyday items work, especially when you are dry camping like we are. So technically we are plugged into electricity, but we only have 15 amp service. And so it's a good thing that we have the lithium batteries, and so it just does a float charge, and so I'm able to run things like the toaster and the microwave and the space heater. However, I just can't run them all at the same time. So just little things like that, know what your limitations are. We have to conserve the water. I mean, we can use their hose to fill up, but we don't have it continuously hooked up. And then we also don't have a sewer dump there. So what goes in must come out. So we gotta just maintain the levels of the tank and really keep an eye on them. And being one person, it hasn't been a big deal. I just checked the levels and they're both still at 1/3. So the gray tank, or all three of them are actually at 1/3. The fresh tank is at 1/3. The black tank is at 1/3, and the gray tank is at 1/3. And we still have about a week before we leave, I believe. So that should be okay. Scott will be home on Sunday, and I'm not sure I'm going to tell him that I'm releasing a video. So we'll see what he says. See if he watches it and likes it or goes, oh my gosh, what the heck did she do? So I'm gonna pull in here, had a nice visit with my friends and a little dinner, and now I'm gonna pull in here and let the dogs out and chit chat with our hostess with the mostest, Miss Brandy. And yeah, oh, there's a cat. They don't have a cat. Must be a stray somewhere, or a neighbor's cat. Okay, I bought this new gimbal. It is the Osmo Mobile 7P. No, Laurel, leave it. No! Apparently I should not be doing this in front of my dog. A puppy who's inquisitive and wants to know what everything is. So, that's that. So I'm going to watch some YouTube to see how this thing works.
3 seconds. Show the V gesture again to stop recording.
Okay, well, I am trying out my new gimbal. And so, like, when I move, it moves with me. It's kind of neat. I'm watching a YouTube channel to see if I can get it right. It's pretty neat, but it's pretty high tech, and I am not techie at all. This is why Scott does all of the video editing. I mean, I can do some shorts here and there, but you'll definitely notice this video is a lot different than the other videos that we normally do. But that's okay. You know, sometimes it's good to get out of your comfort zone and try new things. So I'm not even telling Scott that I'm releasing a video. I think he'll be happy. And if he's not, oh well, he's not going to not be happy. It's been a good week. I've gotten a lot of things done. I thought I was going to learn this gimbal a lot better, but beginner so far. Oh, and I'm looking at my hair. Oh, well, it's late at night, and I decided I'm going to give it a shot, because this is my time that I like to learn things, is probably I think it's like 8:30 at night. This is when I start becoming productive. Unlike Scott, who is more of a morning person and likes to get things done, and then around 5 o'clock he's done. So just a little bit of interesting trivia about us. We are a little bit opposite, but you know what? That's okay. Opposites attract. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's kind of been fun making it, and a little bit maybe didn't flow so well. I'm not sure, but I've had a good week, got some things done. Felt pretty proud of myself that I was able to switch out the propane, and I got it filled today. So if it runs out again before he gets back, I can switch it again. So I won't freeze to death. Unlike the time that I accidentally turned off the thermostat while he was gone, and it got down to 48 degrees inside. That was a little cold. So I'm looking forward to him coming back, and we should be able to hang out for a little bit more time here before we head up. I think we're going to go up north, and I know we have some other videos that we're going to be releasing that Scott's going to be working on in the next few weeks. So be sure to hit that like button, and if you haven't already subscribed, we would love for you to subscribe to our channel. It really does help us out, and it doesn't cost you anything, so that's kind of neat. But until then, we'll see you later. Bye. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing because I have this new gimbal, but it's not tracking my face. So I'm gonna check with some settings. Oh, there's my boobs. Hello? Nope. It has something to do with it really wants to show my chest. Well, there's my face.